This is the tale of a young star named Twinkle, who falls from the sky into the magical Moonlight Forest. Separated from her family of stars, Twinkle meets a kind-hearted squirrel named Squeaky, a wise old owl named Orion, and a playful fawn named Luna. Together, they embark on a journey to help Twinkle return to the sky. Along the way, they face challenges, discover the true meaning of friendship, and learn to embrace their inner light. Through emotional moments of doubt, bravery, and joy, the story conveys values of self-belief, teamwork, and the power of kindness. The serene forest setting and magical moonlit nights make it a soothing bedtime tale. High above the earth, where the sky sparkled like a treasure chest of diamonds, a little star named Twinkle glimmered with excitement. She was smaller than the other stars, but her light shone just as bright. Every night, Twinkle danced with her star family, spinning and twirling to the melodies of the universe. But Twinkle often wondered what lay below her. The earth seemed like a magical place, with its forests, rivers, and little creatures that roamed under her light. What would it be like to visit the earth? She mused one evening. Her older sister Stella chuckled. Earth is beautiful, but stars belong in the sky, Twinkle. Remember, our light guides those who look up to us. Twinkle nodded, but curiosity tugged at her heart. One night, during a meteor shower, Twinkle leaned a little too far to catch a closer glimpse of the earth. And before she knew it, she was tumbling down, her golden light trailing behind her like a shooting star. When she landed, the world was quiet. Twinkle found herself in a forest, bathed in soft silver moonlight. Tall trees whispered in the breeze, and a carpet of moss cushioned her fall. She looked up at the sky where her family of stars twinkled faintly, far, far away. I didn't mean to fall, Twinkle whispered, her voice trembling. How will I get back? Tears welled in her sparkling eyes, but before they could fall, she heard a gentle voice. Are you all right? Twinkle turned to see a small, bushy-tailed squirrel with bright, curious eyes. My name's Squeaky. You look like you've fallen from the sky. Twinkle sniffled. I did. My name is Twinkle and I'm a star. I need to go back, but I don't know how. Squeaky tilted his head thoughtfully. Well, the Moonlight Forest is full of magic. Maybe we can find a way to help you. Don't worry. You're not alone anymore. Twinkle smiled through her tears, feeling a glimmer of hope. Before she could cry, a rustling sound came from the bushes nearby. Out stepped a tiny squirrel with bright, curious eyes and a bushy tail. Are you all right? The squirrel asked in a soft, squeaky voice. Twinkle wiped her tears and sniffled. I'm a star. I fell from the sky and now I'm lost. The squirrel's eyes widened. A star? From the sky? Wow, my name's Squeaky and I've never met a star before. Don't worry, I'll help you. Twinkle looked at Squeaky with hope. You will? Squeaky puffed out his chest. Of course, the Moonlight Forest is full of magic. If anyone can help you get back to the sky, it's us. Come on. Twinkle smiled, her glow brightening just a little. She followed Squeaky deeper into the forest, feeling a glimmer of hope. As they walked, the forest around them seemed to come alive. Fireflies danced in the air, their tiny lights twinkling like stars, and the trees whispered softly in the night breeze. Who should we ask for help first? Twinkle asked, looking around. Squeaky tapped his chin thoughtfully. Orion the owl. He's the wisest creature in the forest. He knows everything. They followed a winding path until they reached an ancient oak tree. Perched high in its branches was a large owl with feathers as silver as moonlight. His golden eyes gleamed as he looked down at them. Who comes to my tree at this late hour? Orion hooted. It's me, Squeaky, the squirrel called, and this is my friend Twinkle. She's a star, and she needs to get back to the sky. Orion spread his wings and glided down to meet them. He studied Twinkle with a kind but serious gaze. A star in the Moonlight Forest? That's rare indeed. Tell me, little star, how did you fall? Twinkle hesitated. I was curious about the earth. I leaned too far and I fell. Orion nodded slowly. Curiosity is a powerful thing, little one. It can lead to great discoveries or great trouble, but fear not. The forest has its own magic. If you wish to return to the sky, you must find the star tree. The star tree? Squeaky asked, his tail twitching with excitement. Orion nodded. It is an ancient tree that touches the heavens. Its branches are said to hold the power to return stars to the sky. But reaching it is no easy task. You will need courage, kindness, and the help of others. Twinkle's glow flickered. Where can I find the star tree? Orion pointed his wing toward the horizon. Follow the path of moonflowers. They will guide you. But beware. The journey is not without its challenges. Twinkle nodded, her light growing stronger. Thank you, Orion. I'll find the star tree no matter what it takes. Orion's eyes softened. You are brave, little star. Remember, even in the darkest moments, your light will guide you.
It started on a rainy afternoon, the kind where every drop against the window felt like a clock ticking away. Mia sat in her small room, surrounded by stacks of old books she had already read twice. At 12 years old, she was a lover of stories, the kind that whisked you away to hidden kingdoms or space adventures. Her younger brother Jake sat on the floor, flipping through a comic book he didn't seem too interested in. "Mom said we can't go out," Jake complained. "What are we supposed to do?" Mia rolled her eyes. "Use your imagination." But even she was restless. It had been days since their summer vacation began, and the thrill of freedom was already fading. That's when their grandmother called from downstairs. "Mia, Jake, could you help me in the attic? I need some old boxes brought down." The attic was a place neither of them visited much. It smelled of dust and mystery, filled with forgotten furniture and knickknacks. But the idea of an adventure, no matter how small, sparked something in Mia. "Come on," she said, pulling Jake along. The attic was dimly lit, with sunlight struggling to seep through the old wooden slats. Cobwebs hung in corners, and the air carried a scent of time long past. As they dug through the boxes, Jake found an old baseball glove, and Mia unearthed a stack of faded photographs. Then they found the door. It was tucked behind a tall shelf, small and covered in peeling paint. It looked as if no one had opened it in decades. "Did you know there was another room up here?" Jake asked, eyes wide. Mia shook her head. But it's not locked." She turned the knob, and the door creaked open, revealing a spiral staircase that seemed to stretch down into darkness. A cold draft swept past them, carrying a strange smell of ink and parchment. "Should we go?" Jake whispered, hesitating. Mia's heart raced. Her adventurous spirit had been waiting for something like this. Of course. What's the worst that could happen? The staircase seemed endless, but eventually they stepped into a room unlike anything they had ever seen. It was enormous, far too big to fit beneath their house. The walls stretched high, lined with shelves crammed full of books. Some looked ancient, with spines cracked from age, while others shimmered as if alive. At the center of the room stood a large wooden desk. An ink pot sat on it, along with a quill that moved on its own, writing words on a blank piece of parchment. Mia and Jake exchanged nervous glances but couldn't resist stepping closer. The quill paused mid-word and pointed at them as if it were alive. "Who dares disturb the Library of Lost Adventures?" a voice boomed. Jake jumped back, but Mia held her ground. Who's there?" From behind the desk, a figure emerged. A small, wrinkled man no taller than Jake. He wore a robe covered in symbols that glowed faintly in the dim light. His eyes sparkled with curiosity. "I am Alaric, keeper of this library," he said, bowing slightly. "And you are not supposed to be here." What kind of library is this? Mia asked, unable to hide her excitement. Alaric tilted his head. This is where unfinished stories come to rest, waiting for brave souls to finish them. He waved his hand, and one of the books floated down from the shelves. It opened, and a mist poured out, forming an image of a dragon trapped in a cave. Every book here is a doorway to an adventure left incomplete, Alaric explained. But beware. Once you enter, you must finish the story to return. Many have tried and failed. Mia's eyes sparkled. This was what she had dreamed of, a real adventure. But Jake wasn't convinced. Sounds dangerous, he muttered. Only if you lack courage, Alaric replied with a sly smile. Before Jake could argue, a book floated toward Mia and landed in her hands. Its cover was blank except for the title, The Shadow of Zathar. The moment she touched it, the room seemed to tremble. What's happening? Jake yelled. The story has chosen her, Alaric said gravely. Will you enter and finish what another could not? Mia hesitated, but her curiosity won. Yes, she whispered. The book flew open, and a whirlwind of light surrounded them. Jake tried to pull her back, but it was too late. They were both sucked into the story,